these videos, I've talked a lot about they. I guess I've said they. They. So I want to address this. Who is they? There's different forms of they, really. They as the elites, the number of people who believe they're in charge, and in some circumstances they're in charge because they're in charge of the military, that kind of stuff. That's they. The other they, which I tend to group together, is the order followers. Order followers. Let me read that. Cops, teachers, government employees, doctors, nurses, mask wearers, etc. All these people are they. Not every single one of them on those cops, teachers, government employees, doctors, nurses, mask wearers, and even the people that just go along to get along, the people that I don't believe in it, but I'm going to do it to make people feel better, or because I don't want to have someone come up and talk to me about it. I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to cause any friction. I don't want to have people staring at me, that kind of stuff. Those people also are order followers. So, where do we go with this? Well, we go with this because they is the reason we are in this predicament. They are the reason we're in every predicament for the most part. I mean, wars, I don't want to fight in a war, and I'll address this in a future video. I'm sure you don't want to fight in a war. I don't hate anyone in China. I don't hate anyone in Russia. I don't hate anyone, overseas. I don't hate anyone, period. I don't want to fight with them or their families, that kind of stuff. I don't want to have a war with any of these people. Who wants to have a war? Well, all in all, it's the governments that want to have a war because they're the ones that benefit from it. Whether that is getting the materials, getting the resources that these different plots of land have, different countries have, getting the overhead power of them, controlling the currency, controlling the money, controlling the oil, controlling, like the poppy seed sort of deal, controlling the resources, all in all. And who benefits from that? Well, the elites and the people who government says do benefit from that. You and I don't. You and I just want to live a full, great life, the best we can, and maybe help others as we go through it. So that's why they, I say, are the reason we get into all these conflicts. Most of them, anyways. Unless it's a circumstance where we have broken. I say we lightly. They have broken away from the king, and forged and made their own sort of society, their own sort of country. That was a staple of freedom and that kind of stuff, which we used to have and we no longer have here in America. But anyways, so now I'm saying this. Who are they? Because if you're a government employee, you work for the IRS, you work for anything government, and you're going along with this, it's your job. I do what I'm told. It's just a job. It's your opinion. That could be, and you need to feed your family, that kind of stuff. I don't take that away from you. But can you find another job? Can you find another job in the private sector? Can you find another job that is not taking money from, people, the citizens, as you're taking it as you're working, because you're getting paid by their taxes that are stolen from them, and then whatever you're doing there is also causing more taxes to be made, and you may be taken in, if you're working for the IRS, you are taking in those taxes from these citizens, or if you work for the DMV, you are taking in these fees from these citizens, or you work at the county, you're taking in these fees to do something on their private land, that kind of stuff. Just, they're all over. But anyways, tax collectors, fee collectors, they're all the same thing for the most part. So those people that are doing that, it's their job. I understand that. I understand it's tough if they have to find something else. But what would happen? Just think about this. What would happen if you take one state, you take one county in a state, And 80% of the government employees, whether that's federal employees or state employees, or even county employees, that kind of stuff, say we are not going to work anymore. And I'm not talking unionizing. We're done working for a month. We're going to stop working for a month because we don't like the fees you're charging our citizens and myself at times, if that's the case. We don't like what they have to go through. We don't like the taxes. Whatever the circumstances. What would happen then? Well, you would take, the rug out from underneath them because the government has no power then. It's the same sort of deal with this whole situation that's going on with the, they call it a virus, whatever. So if people just did what they wanted to do and stopped going along, stopped being order followers, then it comes to an end. Then you start living free again. You start deciding for yourself and your family what's best. So I know this is a little winded, but my main point here is on the cops, teachers, nurses, doctors, that kind of stuff, the people that sort of had some sort of, control, if you want to call it that, some sort of, they're over people. I say that lightly. So you got to think about this, and these people have to think about this. Are you going to enforce all of these illegal and unconstitutional mandates and orders from the banksters? Because that's what it is. Whether your government tells you this, your governor, your council member, your mayor, your president. This all comes directly from the banksters. And by the banksters, I mean the Rothschilds and that kind of stuff. The central banksters. They all take orders. They all give orders to your president and your government. So all these people take orders from them. Just like the wars. They're all wars are, for the most part, bankster wars. And so are you gonna impose these on your citizens that are in countries that are supposed to be land of the free, whether it's not supposed to be land of the free or not? Are you going to do this to your fellow citizens, your neighbors, neighbors, your child's friends' parents? Because that's what it comes down to. People that belong to your church, people that belong to whatever group you belong to, people that belong in your softball team, people that belong on whatever it is. Are you going to do this to these people? Because without you, the government has no power to do what they're doing. So I just want to say that. So I think some of these people, I know some police have, some nurses have, a lot that I've seen lately. Some doctors have. I haven't seen much for your low-level government employees. I hope that comes around real quick because those are the bread and butter. Those are the thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions. Those are the ones that make this stuff happen. Really, by that's collecting taxes, that's doing stuff at the local level, that kind of stuff. Without them, the government doesn't thrive. The government doesn't survive, I would hope. So are you're going to keep going along with this because you are benefiting the elites, benefiting the banksters, benefiting the millionaires and billionaires, while you're taking it away from your neighbors. Basically, that's what it is. So I think some of these people, like I said, but I think more of these people need to put a stake in the ground, do what they feel is morally correct, humanly right, and get by. Great things will happen. I believe it. I'm a firm believer in that. And your neighbors will help you. That's just how it's going to be. Do you ride on your local train that maybe your state has, whether it's light rail or trolley system or whatever? The subway. Do you ride on that? If you don't, why are you paying for it? Do you go to the sports games, the sports ball games, that kind of stuff? If you don't, why are you paying for it? Do you do, X, Y, Z? That kind of stuff that happens all over. And if you don't, why are you paying for it? Why are you paying for it? Because you don't have a choice. Because they steal it from you. And they spend the money they've stolen from you the way they want. And a lot of that goes to their friends and the people they consider need it, or the people that they've made deals with to get it. So I'm just saying this, it's the multimillionaires and billionaires, these people are the ones that benefit, the banksters. And on that note, those people don't give a dang about you and your family whatsoever. They don't live by you. They don't go in your areas. They don't care anything about you or your family at all. Period. They could care less. Other than making sure that they're stealing from you what they want. I mean, that's through inflation. That's through taxes. That's through fees, which are taxes. They're not really fees. They're taxes. And making you do their dirty work. So making you collect the money, collect the taxes, collect the fees, making you go out there and police these people who are in prison for victimless crimes, making you go out there and fight their wars, that kind of stuff. That's all they care about. Beyond that, they could care less about you or I. That's how it is. So just think about that. No matter what you're doing. I'm not saying you're part of they, but that's who they are when I say they. The elites, the order followers, the cops, the teachers, government employees, doctors, nurses, mask wearers, those that go along just to get along. But anyways, I just had to say this. Whether you care or not, that's just my perspective. So if you like this, hit the like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay vigilant, protect yourself, protect your health, protect your family, and protect your life.